What we're about to do is groundbreaking. It's exciting.
The
It
world will never be the same.
never be the same. Absolutely not. So, what we're about to do here is change the world of advertising once and for all. Too often have we seen advertising campaigns focused on mothers who care for their children, who want to see a better future. Too many bright, shining faces on television these days. We long for something much more deep, much more meaningful, goes beyond the superficial. So to that end, you didn't ask for it, but you're going to get it. The best advertising ideas you have heard ever from us. All right. So how are we going to do this? We are going to, each week, randomly select a brand who is going to benefit from our wisdom. What kind of wisdom can the people expect from us, Mr. Turner?
We'll be teaching them how to reach all sorts of fascinating new audiences they haven't considered before.
Exactly.
And all sorts of goals that they can reach that will surpass their wildest dreams and expectations.
Pushing the boundaries of human performance, you know? Too many advertising campaigns targeted at mom and dads and not enough targeting arsonists and longshoremen. A much neglected demographic.
Yeah.
So, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to randomly pick a company, someone they're targeting, what that target might be feeling in that particular moment, and what we'd like them to do to alleviate that feeling or amplify that feeling, whatever it may be, whether it's pain, frustration, terror. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Okay, so let's do 2 through 28 for column number 1. So column 29. I shouldn't be held responsible with these kind of things. All right, so the brand we're targeting, this is a momentous occasion. You're the first one. It is going to be
Drum roll.
Slim Jims.
All right.
All right. Ding, ding. All right, Slim Jims. We're off to a great start. I don't know about you, Nathan, but I'm currently digesting 19 Slim Jims that I've accumulated over the past decade.
It's the only dried meat adjacent product that I'm willing to consume.
Oh, just pure spice, and the spice rarely flows. So good. All right, so Slim Jims. What's the new audience or demographic that we're about to crack on your behalf? All right, this is important. 22. Okay, so that is arsonists. Wow. So
Suspicious beginning.
yes. So we have to make a gentleman's agreement on this, that if we're talking about Slim Jims and arsonists, we can't mention smoky flavors. That's just, we have to go beyond that, go beyond the smoke.
Yeah.
Agreed?
Agreed.
Thank you. God bless you. All right. I was really hoping for bodybuilders. That would have been good too.
Yeah.
All right. So arsonists, what are these arsonists feeling right now? What emotional state are they currently in? Tell me the way, Google. 2, again, hysterical. That is great. Wait, no, it's 2, distressed.
Yeah,
that would
distressed.
have been hysterical. Would have been better. Distressed is pretty good too. I'll take it. Distressed stars. Conflicted. I don't know. Upset about the fire they're about to start or just started.
Distresses arsonist, do you think?
Yeah. If something distresses an arsonist, it must be exceptionally distressing. So that's just something to take into account.
Yeah, I feel like as an arsonist, I mean, the solution to most of your problems is right there, so
exactly.
If they're distressed, something must really be bothering them.
Yeah. The absence of fire.
Yeah. Things to burn.
Yeah, I need my tools. Yeah. Okay, this is going to be great. Okay, distressed arsonist. R15. We want them to bake a cake. This couldn't have turned out any better, I feel like.
So
So
they
yeah,
redirecting that arsonist energy to their cake baking endeavors. Is that
yeah. Maybe it's like the thrill of like knowing that at any point you could burn the cake and subsequently the house down. Yeah. Could cake baking be an arson vehicle, like the Sticky Bandits type thing, where instead of like flooding your house, they burn your house down with a cake? Yeah.
or maybe they bake a nice cake to leave behind as like their calling card. And I mean, you feel a little bit better after your house being burned down if you had a nice cake to enjoy afterwards. So
This is just adorable. Yeah, the Bakery Bandits.
yeah,
Alliteration, it works. That is a nice calling card. They left the most delightful bundt cake. It was just so
I
light.
miss my house, but that cake was so moist.
Sure.
I can't be that upset about it.
Just this pile of just absolute ashes and then a cake sitting in the center of it. It's almost performance art. Oh God, that's terrifying. Cake arsonist.
Well, I can see I can see why Slim Jims would want to get into that. Like those people down at the Slim Jim factory.
Listen, we know correlation doesn't equal causation. But if you're an arsonist and you're baking a cake, the next thing on your list is Slim Jims. These are all gateway activities, especially if you're feeling distressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, Slim Jims saw this as a video, and also these arsonists are spending an average $9,000 a month on Slim Jims. We already got one. If we can get two, we'll be in great shape. Yeah, I like the idea of like some anonymous psychopath who has been single-handedly sustaining the Slim Jims business for like 20 years, and they find out that they're an arsonist. So
It's like the Jared of the Slim Jim community.
we can either keep this a secret or we can make it so arsonists are kind of okay because they're distressed and all they need to do is bake a cake and they're going to be okay.
Do we need to bury this or should we really lean into it?
Yeah, I think we got some fertile terrain to work with here.
For sure.
So we're back, Nathan and Landon, here today to pitch a brilliant marketing campaign to Slim Jims to make them at least tens of twenties of dollars.
I'm excited to hear it.
Did anything in your journey surprise you this week, or are we in spoiler country there at that point if we want to tip into that?
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it, but it may have reached some dark places inside myself. So
yeah, I feel the same way. So why don't we just get into it? Let's pitch each other on our $20 ideas. Okay, Nathan, prepare to be, as I burp, blown away. Okay, here we are. Slim Jims and arsonists, our last best hope. Now, like you, Nathan, you might have been surprised to receive this brief from our prospective client that arsonists represent our last hope, but I went down a little rabbit hole of doing my own research, and I found that they were right. Arsonists represent Slim Jim's only best hope. So you're going to find out why. All right. So as you may or may not have seen in your research, purchases are declining against our core audience here at Slim Jims. This is our chief financial officer. He's in dire straits. He doesn't know what to do. I think a lot of it has to do with the gambling debts he's incurred against the company ledger, but that's neither here nor there. But really where our core profits are declining are amongst our core demographics of convenience store dirtbags. And I figured this out by attending our local 7-Eleven and asking, juggalos, owners of particularly large pants, and those obnoxious kids who lie to their friends and say their uncle works at Nintendo. These are the three people that I encountered outside of 7-Eleven. And all three of them expressed something in common when I said, why don't you purchase Slim Jims anymore? And they said that they were being haunted by the ghost of Macho Man Randy Savage, the deceased Slim Jims personality. He visits each of these people in their sleep at night and urges them not to purchase Slim Jims, which is really hurting our business. So we got to do something to get those dirt bags back to buying Slim Jims one more time. juggalos, liars, large pants owners, all being haunted by Randy Savage. It's a nightmare. So Slim Jims needs help fast. One, we need to drive 50 million in incremental revenue to pay off our gambling debts. We need to do anything we can to avoid talking about our product flavor or texture. And we must appease the ghost of Randy Savage. So we got a tall order ahead of us. But this is where arsonists come in. Arsonists can save Slim Jims, my friend. This is our last best hope. One, more often than not, they have access to huge insurance payouts from the arson they've committed. They have a lot of money, capable of purchasing multiple Slim Jims at one time. Two, they make impulsive decisions and purchases, as made manifest by the fires they start and the Slim Jims they consume. Three, they crave heat and spiciness. They spend long periods of time hiding out. And lastly, they are the natural nemesis of the ghost of Randy Savage. Arsonists are Randy Savage's only known weakness. So, how do we engage them? What do we know about arsonists? We know they're solitary. We know they're lonely and they're distressed. But we also know they like fires, starting fires, and baking. And the source for that is my uncle, who is a convicted arsonist. I spent 45 minutes with him on the phone and learned all of these things together with him. So this is what we do. Let's start the Slim Jim Baking Club. I think this is a good thing for us to do. One, to get an arsonist off the street and cheer them up by getting them involved in something that they enjoy. So that's the first thing we can do. We say, okay, arsonists, you like baking. We need you to fight Randy Savage. Let's give you a place to gather. So we have a virtual baking seminar for arsonists. And each week that features a new Slim Jim based cake recipe. And so each week we'll highlight the favorite Slim Jim baking creation made by arsonists on our Slim Jim Baking Club Facebook page, which I think is a great way for arsonists to give back to the community without having to start another fire. And lastly, once we've established our Slim Jim Baking Club, we will banish Randy Savage to hell through a dark ceremony. So once we've reached critical mass, we'll summon our top arsonist bakers, who Randy Savage is afraid of, and we will host a dark magic ceremony in which we will banish Randy Savage to hell, leading to a 90% decrease in our operational ghost fighting costs, which to me, that's pretty significant.
That's very significant.
Thank you. So this is summing it up. This is the third phase of our strategy. We will make a ton of money. Just imagine, once we can free up the costs associated with ghost monitoring, ghost fighting, ghost detecting, all that money can go from Randy Savage to this guy. Look how happy he looks. This is Slim Jim there. You're welcome. So, any questions?
Sold.
Are there any gaps in my logic?
That logic is flawless. I can't fault that.
Yeah. For me, this is a good chance for me to give back, because the terror that I saw in those convenience store dirtbag eyes, no one deserves to go through that in their life, to be haunted by Randy Savage. We need to put his soul to rest and send him to hell.
To rest in hell.
Exactly. Yeah.
Excellent work.
Thank you. All right, Nathan, what do you got for me?
Can you enable screen sharing so I can?
Absolutely not.
Then this is going to be difficult.
I need you to just describe it to me first. First, describe it to me, then share it with me. And then I'll see how it matches up with my head pictures. My vocabulary is great these days. I call my imagination my head pictures.
All right. The Slim Jim solution, a perfectly reasonable proposal.
We're off to a great start.
The world, shown here. So first, a question. What is the number one problem facing the country, nay, the entire world right now? Is it wars and rumors of wars? Or its more annoying cousin, war reenactments? Maybe global pandemics causing chaos? The ever-present and constantly increasing threat of climate change? No, these are all obviously stupid problems with easy solutions. So the real problem is arson. It's a tough time to be an arsonist right now, because arsonists are anxious, arsonists are agitated, and dare I say it, arsonists are distressed. Yes. And what do arsonists do when they're distressed? Well, obviously from these pictures, you can see they touch their head with both hands. And what do they do after that? That's right. It's the same thing they do when they're not distressed. Arson. This time with an exclamation point. So these guys, they just love arson. It's kind of their thing. Arson in our homes, arson in our schools, even arson in our fireplaces, which is admittedly the least destructive form of arson, but still arson. So, for the record, we all know we can never stop arson, nor would we want to. The founding fathers put that in the Bill of Rights, and we all want the freedom to commit arson. We just think it needs to be done responsibly. This is where Slim Jim comes in, because when people think of arson, they naturally think of Slim Jim.
Of course.
Slim Jim has a long history of encouraging arson, obviously. But today could be the day to turn that around, and Slim Jim could be part of the solution this time.
I was noticing that on all their packaging there is fire.
Very flame heavy on their packaging.
Yes. It's a match made in heaven.
So we all know that eating a Slim Jim will temporarily satisfy the insatiable lust for the beautiful cleansing fire that everyone feels all the time, and is the only thing that makes us feel truly alive. In fact, we owe Slim Jim a debt of gratitude, since that's the only thing that kept Macho Man Randy Savage from burning America to the ground in the 90s. But that high won't last forever.
Yeah.
We need a better solution. Enter cake. Who doesn't love deliciously sweet cake? From the moment that sugary frosting hits your tongue to the time when it sends you into a diabetic coma and your foot is amputated, Americans just can't get enough cake. But not enough people realize how our ballooning waistlines can also be used to stop crime. It's like they always say, the only way to stop a bad arsonist with a match is a good arsonist with a cake. So here's an example. Isn't this tragic? These poor people just lost their home. Wouldn't they be just a little bit happier if the perpetrator showed up with a lovely cake? Look how happy that arsonist is. He's not distressed at all. His hands are nowhere near his head. That is a young man who won't be listening to the voices in his head that tell him to burn it all and the fire is the only true purifier. And watch the family's faces when they see the cake. Slightly happier.
You're right. We turned that frown moderately upside down.
Obviously, a store-bought cake is just not going to do after some light arson. This really needs to be a homemade effort. So enter Slim Jim. Slim Jim can be the first in a previously untapped market of cake mixes specifically targeted to arsonists.
Fire flavors.
So Slim Jim is already on the record as a supporter of cake. So obviously they're going to be very interested in this idea. So in July 11th of 2014, they tweeted out this beautiful picture. So I don't know why they backed off this plan, because they were on the right track. We need to get them back on track here. So it doesn't have to stop at cake mixes. So you could have Slim Jim branded cookware, baking pans, recipe books, things that really speak to the arsonist in us all. Maybe even resurrect the Macho Man himself to pitch this and reel in those nostalgic 90s era arsonists. The sky is the limit. The math is pretty clear and indisputable. Slim Jim plus cake baking arsonists equals profits.
Yes.
Thank you.
Nathan, I think we're onto something truly special here. So I feel like we're ready to pitch these to Slim Jims. Okay. All right. So let's pitch somebody. Let's pitch the good people at Slim Jims for our amazing ad campaign, because I think we have a lot to offer by broadening their audience base and targeting arsonists who are distressed and getting them to bake cakes.
It's definitely better than any ideas they have. So
exactly. I mean, what are their strategies? Reach out to more gas stations? Like, I don't think so. They're already everywhere. Like, yeah, it's either arsonists or meth heads, and I think arsonists generally have more money than meth heads.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Arsonist supplies are much cheaper than meth head supplies. All right, so herein lies the challenge, Nathan. Is we have a lot of brilliant ideas. How do we distill it into one line that it attracts the attention of a with the biggest whale at the Slim Jim factory? How about I am dating your mom? Would that work? Let's just throw it all out there, no bad ideas at this point.
Right.
That might get him to open the email, but he might be angry as he's reading it because the first line after would about to be just kidding. But let's just throw it out there. How about the Slim Jims are poison?
How about look out behind you, there's a bear.
And then when he looks behind him, we're there.
Perfect.
It's us. And then we bitch in person, thereby eliminating the need for an email entirely. All right. I'm escalating this one to the top one. So far, this one seems like the winner to me. But there's a lot of logistical issues we need to solve for this one to work.
That one's a little more complicated, a little more work.
Still, no bad ideas at this stage. All right. How about money? Do you like it?
That's good. People do like money.
They do. Yeah.
Was he going to say no to that?
Yeah. Let's think about this. Something a little bit more elevated. For review. Ad campaign creative. That way he seems it's like legitimate that he already paid for it. Like maybe he's like, maybe he thinks he like went on a bender and he's like, oh God, maybe I did pay for an ad campaign. So if we just play it cool, like we belong, and then we can ask him for feedback. Feedback requested in 24 hours. That feels strong.
I like putting the time limit on it.
Yeah. Let's see. We have the negatives. That's a bit more ominous.
So you just need like invoice approval required.
Required. Yes. That's a good one. We know what you did. Well, I tend to be going down routes that are oddly threatening.
But effective. Like undeniably effective.
Yeah. All right. So we have look behind you, a bear. I am dating your mom. The Slim Jims are poison. Money, : do you like it? ? This is for review, ad campaign creative, feedback requested in 24 hours. We have the negatives, which is kind of basically the same, but I'm going to put these both in the same line. We know what you did. That implies we have photo documentation. I'm going to build on this one. Invoice approval required, ad campaign concept. Ooh, I like that one a lot because we can accompany an invoice with this as well. Ooh,
yeah.
Ooh, here we go. All right, let's spend like 2 more minutes on this just to make sure we're not missing anything. I feel like this one's the winner.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah. And then we can even put this in the email at the bottom, like PS, look behind you, bear, and then we're there with the invoice. I like it. Okay.
Do we even know where their office is located? How are we going to ambush this guy?
Oh, good question. Slim Jim's headquarters. Chicago. Oh, it's in Chicago. That might take some money. So we might need this might be after we get critical mass and we have like a travel budget. Yeah. Then we can do this one. I feel like this is good to save into the later pile. Let's not discard this. Okay. I think this is the winner though, Nathan.
That's very solid.
Okay. Now let's just run with this. Like, what if like in the intro line, we just make it seem like this is something he's already initiated, where like he's hit himself on the head and he paid for this already, or he approved us to get going. So how about something like per your request enclosed?
As per your drunken bender request.
As per your request, while downing shots per your drunken request. We attempted to clarify. Enclosed, please find a marketing proposal outlining how we will attract arsonists to the Slim Jim brand through baking-based marketing, baking-based communication strategies. Specifically, baking cakes. While we were initially confused at your request, as soon as we started work, we understood the genius of your vision.
That's good. Put it back on him.
Exactly. Also enclosed, please find our invoice for $47,000, 898 cents in dollars. Yeah. Per the agreed upon budget.
Or which came in under budget.
Yeah. Which came in under budget by 67,521. However, please note that we are compiling our expense. We will send an invoice for our expenses separately. We spent nearly $28,000 on Slim Jim research.
That's
Okay.
a lot of Slim Jims.
Yeah.
Also, trailer park interviews and hanging out at 7-Eleven.
And interviewing and conducting ethnographic research at various 7-Elevens. 7-Eleven?
Yeah, 7-Eleven.
Various 7-Eleven.
And professional wrestling events.
Professional wrestling events. Mobile homes.
Yeah.
Mobile home parks. And crime scenes. Smoldering crime scenes.
Perfect.
Let's just take out the Slim Jim research. Let's just really drive this home with a hook. As mentioned above, we would like to start work on this campaign immediately. The longer we wait, the longer arsonists will spend their time starting fires to get sexual thrills instead of giving Slim Jims the money they deserve.
Giving Slim Jims their due.
Yes. Money, not fire crimes. There we go. Wanted to make sure I clarified that.
Sexual thrills TBD.
This is feeling good.
That's very solid.
Yeah. Okay. Next step. All right. I'm going to start this out and let me know if this sounds too aggressive. You have 48 hours.
I like that you said 48 as you typed 24.
I had a rough night last night. The old brain cells, the synapses, they're still warming up. You have 48 hours to process our invoice. and provide feedback on our campaign. Okay, or what?
Yeah, well, that's when you pop in that we have the negatives.
Yeah, we have the negatives. And will not hesitate to contact the press.
Not hesitate to unleash them on the world.
The New York Post is eager to unleash visual proof of your shenanigans. Yoru, that sounds like an anime hero. On the public. Yes. Thank you again for trusting us with this assignment. Let's plan on catching up soon. Warmest regards.
Give me something personal, like plan on catching up soon, comma, you rascal.
You little devil. Should we do like a?
It's like the smiling devil emoji.
The little winky face.
Yeah.
Although I have to say, like, this is neither here nor there. It's not related to this assignment. This is my favorite emoji, the winky frowny. Only because it's the only emoji that's really hard to make in real life, where it's like, it's like this is the universal emoticon for I'm having a stroke.
Yeah. We definitely do hold on to that one and work that in somewhere else.
Yeah. That'll be our next campaign, was why this should be the next universal emoji.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Warmest regards, Nathan and Landon. Or should we just do your friends? Warmest regards. Yeah.
Your friends, yeah.
How about this? Too much?
Your brothers in Christ.
Yes. Good. So if I'm reading this correctly, the story we're telling here is the marketing manager for Slim Jims drunkenly approached us and was like, hey, I got an idea. It involves arsonists and cake baking. And we're like, well, it sounds kind of weird, but you have a budget of $100,000 more or less. You know, we can make this happen. And we did. We came in under budget. Not only did he approach us with this, but he confessed some kind of crime to us, of which we have photographic evidence.
Or possibly as part of this pitch idea, he was involved in some sort of crimes with us that we documented.
We stumbled across him as he was committing arson, and he was like, no, this is research.
Yeah.
And we were like, what? And then he explained it to us, and we were like, this doesn't make a lot of sense, but yeah, okay, I love this. This is great. And then we somehow in all this, we realized that we were both deeply religious.
Yeah. That's probably part of it, yeah.
All right. I'm feeling good about this. Okay. Well, I'm going to send this out to our I almost called him our Mark. I'm going to we'll send this out. We'll see how it goes.
Our brother in Christ.
Our brother in Christ. And then we'll go. Perfect.